In Arizona prison, I was housed with a Mafia, multiple homicide murderer called Two Tonys. He was serving over 140 years. He told me all about how the Mafia kill, snitches, and all the methods of killing people and disposing of bodies. This is tying into a lot of comments I'm getting right now asking me to comment on James Whitey Bulger's death. He was 89 years old, former Mafia boss, in a wheelchair, got moved to a federal prison in West Virginia. First day there, he's found dead, eyeballs ripped out, and attempted to cut his tongue out. These are traditional methods used by the Mafia. Written about Pablo Escobar, Colombian necktie, you're a snitch, throat slit open, tongue pulled out, dangling down your chest like you're wearing a tie. Now, Two Tonys gave me specific details about how snitches are killed by the Mafia. I'll just read this, what he said. The body of a snitch, known as a rat, a canary, a stool pigeon, might be dumped on the side of a street with a canary or a pigeon stuffed in his mouth as a warning to others. Before the rat is whacked, his tongue might be cut out. A more elaborate way is by placing a guy's feet inside of cinder blocks, filling them with cement and throwing him in the water. That's where the expression "sleeps with the fishes" came from. Now, James Whitey Bulger, he confessed, well, he was convicted of killing almost 20 people, and he killed people by baseball bat, running them over, shooting them in the back of the head, strangulation. This guy was a serious super predator. For decades, 70s, 80s, he ran unrestrained because he was working with the FBI. They gave him a pass. Why do the US federal government agencies like the FBI, the CIA work with the Mafia? This isn't isolated stuff, this is ongoing. The FBI, their priority is to get arrests and convictions and put people away and get more tax money. So if they're working with one Mafia, they can get information on all of his competition, wipe those guys out for him, arrest them, they get their medals, they get their promotions. The relationship between the Mafia and the authorities is symbiotic. When I wrote about Pablo Escobar, US government, CIA, Colombian government, the DES, the National Police were all working with the Cali cartel to take down Pablo Escobar, and the Cali cartel was expanding its cocaine business on the back of the authorities helping them take down Pablo Escobar. So Whitey had a pass from the authorities and he maxed that out for decades. He went on the run for 16 years. He was number 2 on the most wanted list after Osama bin Laden, hiding out in California and feeding a stray cat. The neighbours noticed them and snitched him out, and bam, he ended up inside, and then he had to take the rap for all those murders. Now, regarding the pulling the eyeball out business, I've done some blogs on the rape of Zena. I'll put the link into the description box below this video. Zena was getting gang raped multiple times by the Aryan Brotherhood. She studied anatomy and she came with an idea, and 2 times in a row when the gang came to rape her, she plucked the first members to try and rape her, his hand on her. She plucked his eyeball out, so it was dangling from the optic nerve. And they left her alone after she did that 2 times. She was considered extremely dangerous. But I'll read you what Two Tonys told me about going for eyeballs. This is from my book Mafia Philosopher, which Two Tonys' life story, which was published just a couple of months ago. If you're ever cornered down a dark alley, what I'm about to tell you might save your life. In a deadly situation like this, with no gun, you need to nail a motherfucker as quickly and violently as possible. When motherfuckers are coming to kill you, the main thing you have going for you is that you're equally capable of killing them. A good target to go for is the eye, and you don't need a weapon either. There's a guy in prison here who was getting gang raped by the Aryan Brotherhood. He's talking about Zena here. They were going in on him like a pack of wolves. He stopped it by plucking out 2 of the motherfucker's eyeballs. The eyeballs were dangling out. A guy who's had his eye pulled out may never see through it again. It might cause a brain hemorrhage, or the fluid that cushions the brain might leak out through the eyeball. So you can imagine the suffering Whitey was going through as he's getting his eyeball pulled out to set an example to not be a snitch against the mafia. People are actually celebrating right now. Victims, family members of him are actually celebrating that he suffered so horrifically after all of the horrific and things he did to his victims. So back to what Two Tonys was saying. They were going on him like a pack of wolves. He stopped it by plucking out two of the motherfuckers' eyeballs. The eyeballs were dangling out. A guy who's had his eye pulled out may never see through it again. It might cause a brain hemorrhage, or the fluid that cushions the brain might leak out through the hole. A popped out eyeball doesn't exactly fit back in snugly either. There's no instructional manual for that. After the guy in here started plucking eyeballs out, the Aryan Brotherhood left him alone. Throwing dirt or sand in a motherfucker's eye works too. Sand is great because it damages the tissue and scratches the cornea. Eyes are easy targets. They'll put a motherfucker out of action fast. Right. So there you have it. Whitey was found dead. This is the guy, if you've watched Black Mass or The Departed, those two huge movies were based on him. Really loved Black Mass. The acting in that, just his mannerisms, everything reminded me a bit of Two Tonys. Two Tonys was a bit like that. Just had this really powerful, deadly aura, and just came across talking in this like mafia slang. So I really appreciate all of your comments and subscribers. Now over 100,000. Can you believe it? It took me 10 years to get to 2,000, and it went through 100,000 like 4 days ago. I think I'm already at 105,000. It's going up 1,000 a day right now. Can't believe it. I'm really blown away by all of your support. People have been talking about me upping my game in terms of production quality. I have bought a new camera. I've not charged it up yet. It's a Fuji one. Cost almost $1,000. I've also got access to a studio now in London where my next podcast is going to be put on YouTube probably later today or tomorrow. My podcast number 3 that will be with a stand-up comedian friend of mine. People say they want more variety. It's not going to get more variety than with my stand-up comedian friend Eleanor Conway. And I've got with Jamie Morgan Kane, my first podcast, his combined views now are at about 2 million. He's caused a shitstorm in the comments, a lot of controversy there, a lot of people asking questions, and I am going back to film Jamie on November 7th, and he's going to be responding to these comments, and I'm going to be setting the record straight on a lot of this stuff. People are pulling out his legal case and saying he did this and he did that. Well, bear in mind, all that legal case stuff is the prosecutor's version of events. So we've got to let Jamie respond to this. Prosecutors are corrupt as fuck in America, and they're just going to put down the nastiest, worst portrayal of you possible. So Jamie will be going over all of these things, and appreciate all the people who are coming to watch me interview him in London on November 7th as well. We'll be doing a live event. I'll put the link to that in the description box if you are in London. And I've got a few more events this year, up in Liverpool doing my Pablo Escobar talk, up in Sheffield doing my Pablo Escobar talk, in Brighton next week, and Bristol the week after that doing my Murderers and Mafia Hitmen talk. Also my new Pablo Escobar book, Part 1, Pablo Escobar Story 1, The Rise, is now available worldwide on Amazon. So yeah, with you guys supporting the channel so much, all the comments, all the feedback, I will be getting well, man, on my own podcast, doing more variety, getting better quality production, and look forward to putting a lot more time and effort into this and just continuing to see the channel grow with all of your love and support. So cheers from London out there, everybody, and if you do come to any of my events, please do come and say hello. I also have some guest list spaces, some free spaces. If you're unemployed, if you're a student, hit me up with an email and we'll try and get you on the guest list if it's not already full. Cheers.